Alright guys, watch this video for Friday, October 19th. If you were in chat today, you know that I already said I'm not going to be there tomorrow. And then my chaos should be over, okay? So looking to be back full-time trading on Monday, and believe me, I'm really looking forward to it. Monday after the close, I'll talk about what's been going on and why I've been a part-time trader for several weeks. Anyway, I can't wait to get back into it. Excuse me, looking at the SPY, you had this big sell-off, the bounce. Looked like it was, a nice rebound coming, but it hit the falling 8-day and then kind of right back down, closing at about the 200-day. But this still feels kind of bullish, like we might retest these recent lows. Having said that, I never try to predict the overall market because I'm terrible at it. So we just log in every day as day traders, right? I'm in cash every night looking for decent setups, A-plus setups on a stock with an intelligent watch list from overnight, and also we build a watch list, as you know, in the pre-market for potential gap plays. So that's the way I approach the market, and the teamwork in there is fantastic. I tell you what, I came back this afternoon. I had a really nice trade from Wayne and I kind of double teamed a call in JMU today if you weren't there. And that kind of made my day, and then came back this afternoon. I had 20 minutes left in the session. Pop into the room. I already had my screens ready to go, and Mo, M-O-H, we have a couple Mo's in the room, but M-O-H posted that MTNB idea. I looked at it and I loved it and got a late day trade. So these are my two best trades. It was, this isn't a huge day, but again, being a part-time trader right now, being in and out, I'm thrilled that I get that JMU trade, and then literally came in my office in like 5 minutes, made an extra $220 because of MTNB, and that's just because of the chat room. So I love the teamwork. Now, with all my bragging, before I go into the watch list, I have to share something with you because this is actually pretty damn funny. So PTI, and I actually called this. If you were in the room, I called this on an inside twos after the gap, right? So this thing gaps up and ends up running just a monster move. Let me switch to twos and show you where I called it, right? So I called it, you had the high, and then you had an inside candle. So I called it as, before it broke, I said, hey, inside twos, possible setup. PTI might give an inside twos. I don't know exactly how I worded it. I'm on the mic at the open, which makes the trigger 633 if it breaks that inside twos candle. Happened right there. And then you saw what it did. Went all the way up over 10. Now, why is this funny? That's not funny. This is what's funny. I'm probably the only one on the planet that can boast this. Right here, shows an order. I grabbed PTI, and this was a pre-market trade, by the way. This wasn't the gap play trade. I grabbed PTI, 1,500 shares, in the pre-market at 359. You can see I got filled. And on the day, because I didn't take the inside twos morning gap play because I was trading something else. I don't like to be in too many things at once. Anyway, the comedy relief here is that I took 1,500 shares of PTI at 359. Most people would look at this and then look at this and say, oh my God, you killed it. With only 1,500 shares, you had a huge day. This is my profit and loss on the day on PTI. I lost $210 on this. I could show you the pre-market chart and show you exactly how I got whipped out of it, but I'm not going to because I'll probably start to cry. But yeah, this is, and I said in chat, if you weren't there, I said I should just post my PTI 1,500 shares at 359 and leave it at that. And then everyone will think I'm a genius because look, the lowest it was after the market opened is 570. So I look like a genius. But in reality, I skillfully lost $210 getting long right down here. And it did this. That's embarrassing. But as Wayne said, hey, that's trading. It's kind of funny and it's kind of pathetic. All right, anyway. Speaking of PTI, I'm just going to go right into the watch list here. PTI is on watch for tomorrow. Now, it's stupid extended. It closed, closed below 2 yesterday and all the way to 1035. And after hours right now, it's trading at 945. But anytime you get that kind of a move, you've got to watch it. Again, I won't get burned by it tomorrow because I'm off tomorrow. I got the last day of my chaos, so I'm not trading it all tomorrow. But I promised you in chat that I would make a watch list video. So I'm doing that. So PTI needs to be on watch. CNET, which Wayne made a great call on this one today. It's one of the Chinese stocks that, again, didn't close near its highs, but look at this call Wayne made today if you weren't there. Looked like this. He said, I like this over the 2-day high. All right, there's yesterday. And keep in mind, this wasn't in a vacuum. The Chinese stocks were really strong. So it hit 188 yesterday, hit 188 again today. He said, I like this over the 2-day high, which means 189. Look what happens. Just a great call. And I skillfully avoided this one too. I was doing something else or whatever. I think maybe I didn't believe in the Chinese stocks. I can't remember what talked myself out of this. What a huge move though. From 189 all the way to 293. Anyway, what a great call. And I think it moved so nicely that I think if you're going to watch a Chinese stock tomorrow, I think this is a good candidate. Please pay attention to where the 200-day is. MTNB, I told you I made a couple hundred extra dollars near the end of the day, back through $1 here. It ended up closing at $1.06. Very strong volume though, and a pretty strong close, all things considered, after how far it fell after the gap. Deserves to be on watch. NSPR, let me zoom in so you can see why I like this. You had a pop back here on big volume. Actually took this high out this day and kind of went right back into support and did nothing. And then today, little extra volume over today's high, which is over 27 cents. You might challenge this 30 cents, and over that you're kind of in breakout territory. Having said that, I do have a little bit of a love for some of these smaller caps, or these smaller price stocks, but not necessarily when you get under 30 cents. So keep that in mind. That makes me love them a lot less, but it's a decent looking chart, I guess. SNES, this one closed, I don't know, above the middle of its range, but well off its highs, also well off its lows. Nice volume. It was on news, so this isn't like a Chinese stock that just ran with all the other Chinese. This one actually had news, and I don't know. I would argue it held up okay. I would have preferred a stronger close, but these old topping tails, sometimes they give you a potential catalyst the next day over 115. This looks good, and maybe it flags around $1 tomorrow for a while, and then gets an inflection point trade through $1. I don't know, but it's worth watching. AMMA has had some volume spikes here, then here, then here, and then here again. Maybe tomorrow. Closed pretty strong. Maybe tomorrow's a follow-through day on that one. SLS had the nice 3-day run, gap down today, but closed almost back up where it opened. And you have the whole number 2 that might come into play, so I think that's worth watching. CRMD. This isn't that pretty, but it had a huge move back here, and then today, kind of an ugly candle, like kind of a bearish engulfing candle, but at the same time, it's in that buy zone between the 8 and the 20. It bounced back here before, so I had this on bounce watch for tomorrow. Not in love with it. ALT, I don't like this chart very much anymore, but because of this spike, and keep in mind, this day it ran from 385 to 495. Since it ran all the way up over 36 bucks like a month ago, all these candles are kind of compacted, so you can't really tell. But that was a really nice move, 385 to 495. Now you've got a couple days with lower highs. It's well off that 495 high I put in the other day too, though. So it never did break. Switching to 5-minute candles, here's the opening candle high. It never did break its early high. And you could say the same thing yesterday. These are 15s now. There's that big move I talked about 3 days ago. There's the early high the next day, which was 469, and there's the early high today, which is 431. So you're getting consecutive lower highs. I still think for maybe one more day, it's worth watching for a turn back up. It really made a nice move 3 sessions ago. VTVT, after the gap up, first of all, a huge mover back here, then a lower high. Then it looked like it was rolling over, right? Might have sucked in some shorts here, then it gaps up. All those shorts won the battle. They won it again that day, and they won it again today. Sort of a more narrow range today than yesterday, and much lower volume. So to me, still a decent candidate coming back into the 8-day moving average. A decent candidate for a bounce back up tomorrow, turn back up tomorrow. You guys in chat know what to look for. I won't be there, but you know how to play these bounce plays. YGYI. Again, such a huge move back here. 3 red days in a row. I think this is worth watching, again, as a bounce play setup. You guys have taken our course or in chat. Most of you know what to look for, so it doesn't cost you anything to have it on a chart. AGRX has had some nice moves here, again here, and now you've got a couple day pullback on declining volume. That one's worth watching too. And then EARS, which I'm not in love with because now a lot of people from these 2 days, which had a lot of volume these 2 days, are underwater, but it is back into that buy zone between the 8 and the 20. And really this whole run started from closer to 30 cents. So I do think it's worth watching for a bounce tomorrow. And again, you guys know what to look for. If you're not a member of our chat room, click the link down below. We have made it to where you can get involved in our room for $79. And we're seeing a lot of new faces and getting some super nice feedback because once people get in, I should have done this a long time ago, by the way. I should have made the barrier to entry much lower because you guys hear me rail. Well, our members in chat hear me rail all the time about some of the, I don't know, just teaching new people to chase. You know, some of these guys that are probably pretty good traders, but they don't give a rat's ass if they're teaching people terrible habits. And I always rail about that. And then I thought, well, why don't I just make it easier to get in the room to show people a little bit of a different look at the market, right? So that's what we're doing. So click the link down below. You can get involved for 79 bucks. I'm done babbling. Listen, I'm not going to be trading tomorrow. If you trade, trade safe. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. And I'm back to full time on Monday. Right at the closing bell Monday, we're doing a little impromptu. Well, it's not impromptu because I'm announcing it, but we're doing just a short version of a happy hour. I'm going to have a couple beers and talk about what I've been doing for the last few weeks. And I'm done babbling. Have a great trading day tomorrow.